Whoa! Hello.
How's it going?
Okay, so I need you to. Did you check that box? Uncheck the box.
Yeah, I just did. Did it make it?
All right. Yep. We're good.
Good.
Man, this. If people only knew how difficult this is sometimes.
I'm so stressed, right? Like that I sucked really bad on that song. So
it sounded awesome, dude. Are you kidding?
Listen, the solo section would have been way cleaner had the sound check been good, but we're good.
Oh, it sounded great. So, welcome everyone. I'm Brad with QSC, and I'm here with Andwele Simons. Out of, you are in Nova Scotia, right?
Yep, right in the main city, Halifax.
Yeah, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Don't you know?
Yeah, buddy.
Man, so if anyone's interested, I think you've been working on getting this all to work for a couple of hours now. And we've been together for the past 45 minutes trying to get all this stuff to work. And so it's kind of a combination of the computer, the interface with the, with the audio system, and then using StreamYard, which is a browser-based streaming system.
Yep.
And man, it's like jumping through hoops and over hurdles to get it all to work.
Big time. But it worked. Sorry we're late.
Yeah.
We're here, and I'm excited.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for being here. And if you don't mind, I'd love it if you could just give us a little background on yourself, what you've been up to, and just a little info about yourself.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so I'm actually originally from Bermuda stand up, small little island off the coast of South Carolina. And really born, raised there, played there my entire career, really. And then moved to Canada with my wife. She wanted to move back to Halifax, where she's from. So when I did, I kind of left touring behind and decided that I wanted to get into session work and content creation on YouTube and, mostly Instagram. Haven't quite figured out the YouTube algorithm just yet, but Instagram seems to be going pretty good.
Yeah.
And I play a lot of different genres of drums. I have a bit of a jazz background, so I play a lot of different types of drums and come from a very musical family. Both my mom sings, my dad's a multi-instrumentalist. Then my grandfather's a legend, a living legend in Bermuda, Rudy Ford.
And is he a drummer?
Well, he plays percussion and he sings. Like, he's an excellent singer. So Rudy Ford. And my mom sings really good. She must get it from her dad.
Yeah, right.
And so, and then out here, my wife's family, my father-in-law is actually a former musician. But I come from a very, very musical family.
Awesome.
A bit of a prodigy, I guess you could call it. Like, no one really taught me how to play drums. So
amazing. Okay, so what I'd love to do is have you play another track, and then I want to get into what you're up to on Instagram and kind of talk a little bit about your system.
Dope. Let me just.
Is that cool?
Let's talk a little bit about the system in just a minute. We're just finding a little trackage here. All right.
Okay, you ready? Make sure you hit that disable audio processing
that's right.
button.
Let's get that right really quickly. Brad's putting me through my paces, you guys, with all this technology. All I know how to do is play drums and a little mixing here and there, but Brad's got me really popping. So, all right, you guys ready for another track?
Let's hear it.
This track is from a friend of mine. Andre Madre is his stage name. An incredible musician, multi-instrumentalist out of Atlanta. One of my favorite tracks. So, song is called Just Because. All right, let's do it. Oh.
Yo, that was awesome.
Thanks. All right, cool. I'm getting this down.
Awesome. Okay, so
I think it's a pretty stick too.
You broke a stick.
Yep, not unusual. Shout out to Vic Firth though. About to get some stuff popping with them. These aren't Vic's, but looking forward to some really cool stuff on horizon with
awesome
companies and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna need you to did you uncheck that box?
I did.
Okay, it's good now. Okay, so shout out to Andre Modre Brown.
Yes.
Yeah, and Deanza Chambers.
Deasia, that's my little sister.
Deasia, cool.
Yeah.
She says killing it, bro, and she means bro because you're her bro.
Yep. Not just a little euphemism or whatever you want to call it. That's my little sister.
It's real, man.
For real too. Love that girl.
Awesome. Okay, so I just posted in the comment your Instagram link. Anyone who wants to check out some amazing drumming, to learn stuff about playing drums, follow Andwele on Instagram.
Yeah, Andwele, ANDWELE_SIMONS.
Yeah.
Follow.
Yeah, and I discovered you because I think I saw you using a Touch Mix 16 as part of your, Instagram video rig.
Yep.
Can you kind of describe the whole system? Because I think it's a great system. It looks and sounds great on Instagram.
Yeah, listen, this thing is a lifesaver. So Brad disagrees, but I'm a bit of a novice when it comes to like technology. Like I'm not that great, right? Like I YouTube everything. So with regard to my rig, a little backstory. I wanted to get into this, as I mentioned before. I wasn't going to really hit the road or tour anymore. So, wanted to focus on staying home with the fam and being able to enjoy being a creative right? So anyway, went to Long and McQuaid. Shout out to John and Logan and Tom at Long and McQuaid in Halifax. So I went over there, man, and we talked about a couple of systems based on what I was looking for. They suggested QSC Touch Mix, and I was like, all right, bang, let me just rent it for a minute, see if I like it. Funny enough, the reason I went with them is because, as I mentioned, I'm a bit of a novice, so I didn't know how to really EQ drums, and I found a lot of bleeding and tom sympathetic ringing and stuff like that going on with my toms, which was driving me crazy with another system I had. So I said, I need something with gates, right?
Yep.
So so they suggested the QSC Touch Mix 16. I cannot, like, I rented it for a month and I bought it the next week because I was like, this is it. They're never getting this back ever.
Yeah,
like
awesome.
This thing's amazing. And the reason is, funny enough, the reason I got it for the gates, I don't even use the gates. Right? Like, there's no gating on my kit, right? So funny enough, yeah. So anyway, what I really love
but there could be.
There could be.
There could be. If you wanted gates, you have them.
You can certainly use the gates. However, the reason I don't is because the microphone preamps and the QSC are unmatched.
Yeah.
Period. Like, they really pick up the really great true characteristics of my drums, and I play DW drums, which is a great drum kit to begin with. And only play Hammersmith drum snares. A local company, Halifax, makes the best snares on the planet. I'll put my name on that because I don't play anything else, really. I own DW snares. I don't even play them. Anyway, so I got it. Still didn't know really what I was doing, but what's amazing about QSC is you can get lessons on YouTube for every module you need information on. So when I was thinking about, like, okay, so how do I get a good sound out of my drums? I learned on YouTube that they have presets. So literally for every drum, I could choose a preset, whether it be, snare drum basic, snare drum bright, snare drum fat, snare drum gated, rock, and the rest, for toms, bass drums, overheads, hi-hats, all of that stuff I learned on the website. And then what I did, on YouTube. Yeah. And then what I did was, after I figured out the EQing process for the drums, first of all, tune your drums well.
Yeah.
That's important. Once I got the EQing and the right presets for my drums, I then chose one of the auxiliary outs as a monitor send for my own ears.
Yeah.
And I prefigured a mix for each channel I wanted to mix. So what I use for the most part in the studio when I want really, really, really good audio is I use a Q8, a Zoom Q8. And so that's what I'm using.
That's what we're looking at. So explain the inputs on the Q8, because I think it's a really great system.
It really is. So for anyone that doesn't know anything about DAWs and interfaces and things like that, what's great about the Q8 is it has 4 channels, 2 XLR or 1/4-inch inputs, where you can come straight out the back of your board into the camera, and you can change the gain and things like the gain levels on the camera itself. What's great about that is it's pre-mixed in the mixer. You send it to the camera, play a little bit, listen back, which is cool about the camera. It has a earphone output, so you can listen back to the tracks before you record. You can also use it as a monitor just to make sure that your levels are good. So what I have currently in terms of setup for my camera is pretty simple. It's a mix of drums alone. So I have, as I mentioned, I EQ everything in the board, which is really, really easy.
And you're using probably like 8 mics or 10 mics or something on your drums?
Dude, I'm using 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13 mics on your drums. Yep. And then out of an aux out or the main out?
Yeah, so I pre-mix it on like aux 2. So I pre-mix it there. I can hear the playback from aux 2 uh, when I'm trying to monitor it all, set my level. Then I put it in. So I send it all a main aux out. Sorry, aux 2 into the camera. So that's aux 2 goes into channel 2 for the camera, and then I have a audio mix that is just whatever track I'm playing to. So I take that also. I just created its own mix, and I put that in aux 1, just the track alone, and I send that to the camera, and that's it. So as I mentioned, a few simple steps: mic the kit, put it into the mixer, EQ the kit
with presets. Like you start with presets. Yeah,
incredible. Like, and from what I understand, they were configured by some of the best engineers in the industry. So
yeah. It took us 6 months to make those presets.
Incredible. Like, and they're great guys. Like, I can't even front. Like, they're really great. Some drummers I know don't even use them, but I don't see why you would use anything else.
Right.
Anyway, and yeah, so I preset them, use the presets for everything, literally. Even the mic you're hearing me talk on has a preset, as a lavalier preset. So I'm using that too, right? And from there, send it all to the camera, press record. I get my channels, great stereo audio. I can pan left, right, so my drums kind of do this in the mixer, right? Like, I don't have everything down the middle, so I pan them all, and meticulously I pre-mix everything so that when I record, I don't have to worry about anything after the fact. So what you're hearing is what most people will hear when they listen to my videos.
Yeah. So when you how often do you post a drum video? It seems like you do one about every day.
Usually, I had a goal. I had a follow goal. I wanted to get to 10K by the end of September. So I was really going hard, right?
Yeah.
But on average, I like to do about 5 a week.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So do you record 5 at one time, and then you kind of schedule it?
No. So what I do is, well, I don't know what you mean by one time.
In one session or in one sitting?
No. So it depends on what I'm going for. Most times what you're hearing me post is like film of sometimes of a practice session or me trying to show a specific technique. But I usually just come in the studio, turn the camera on and go. And then I edit what I want to post, over a period of time, right? So that's another thing about QSC and Zoom, or if you have an iRig, QSC and iRig, is record yourself, whether you're practicing or really going for some specific content, because you always have like reels and reels of content that you can use for your social platforms. And for me, although you see me posting things often, I'm not recording every day 2 posts. Like, I've got reels of film that I can go back on to
grab. Yeah. What do you edit your video with?
So iMovie for when I'm using the Q8.
Yeah.
So it takes a flash drive, right? Like a hard drive, SD card.
Yeah.
So iMovie for when I'm using the Q8, but when I'm using the iRig, which I also use for my lives and things like that, or when I'm being lazy and I don't feel like editing that much, I just use the iRig for quick content. And usually that shot is like from the side or like.
And that's with your phone, right?
Phone, yeah. So I plug the iRig straight into the phone.
And use the phone camera.
Yep.
And so then the audio from the mixer gets recorded into your phone video, basically, and then you have phone video that you can use, or you can go live with it or whatever on Instagram.
Exactly. What's cool about that is that's also an entirely separate mix. So that one goes out of my aux out 7/8 on the QSC. So I created a specific mix for the iRig, which also includes the audio of whatever track I'm using.
Makes sense. Okay, so let's hear another tune. Do you have one more prepared?
Oh, yes.
Awesome. And then we're gonna be. Oh my gosh! I have to plug in my computer. I've been running off my battery and it's about to die.
Okay. So while you do that, I'm gonna have to do this one a little differently, because a lot of different things didn't work. So I'm gonna play this one from a different source, but we're about to make it happen. Actually,
and while you're doing that, I'm going to shout out a few more people because there's some people here that are digging your stuff and supporting you big time.
thank you.
Let's see, Mama, AZ, Kui, Sammy, Ian, and I are here live with you, Bermuda Strong.
That's my whole family.
Yeah, it's so cool, dude. I love that.
They're showing love, and I really appreciate that. Those are my people.
Yeah.
Can you still see me, Brad?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna cue up this track just to make sure. Okay, cool. This one
sounds great.
This one's a little longer, but it's so. Before I play this one, I wanted to say two things. Number one, I want to give a shout out to my little sister, DeAsia, and Ani and Grace events in Bermuda. They are the A1 event planning company in the island. They just won Best of Bermuda, and I don't see why they won't win it for the rest of the of the time they're in business. Go check them out. Ani and Grace, events. They're incredible. And number two, one of the things that made me, I think, stand out a little bit on Instagram, which we'll talk about a little bit more, is not being afraid to be different. So what I focused on was grooving and more tribal, ethnic.
I love that. Yeah.
So this track is an Afrobeat track that a friend of mine, DJ Cool Minus, we just did a live. I did a live one-take recording of this session he wanted me to do, that we're doing a joint for the Bermuda Art Society. So this track, I nearly lost my mind when I heard it. And I think you'll understand why.
Well, before you hit go, I want to just tell you that I love the fact that sometimes you post, you're just shedding, you're just like practicing, and it's kind of like, it just makes me connect more with the process of becoming a great drummer and like learning, and it's just a lot of work and frustration sometimes and all that, and I think that's another thing that like helps you stand out and connect with others. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, a friend of mine, Carlin McCullough, who's the CEO of Shed Tracks. Shout out to Shed Tracks, by the way. That the first track I played, that was Shed Tracks, and the last track I'm going to play is also going to be Shed Tracks. So shout out to Shed Tracks. But Carlin said it's authenticity, and he said that people are really connecting with you just being real. So I appreciate that you guys don't dislike the real me.
All right, hit it.
So I'm gonna do this audio. Can you hear me? All right. So check it out.
Thank you. Watu yopanda kantinya kutina nasalanda tinganga nasalanda tinganga
Kia gare kilwa wahai watu ni pele kilwa wahai rabaga ore aunsebi wahai ene bare nu matore kyola bisa aina ni chanta de la machata bagam ere bagam awadu bagam ere bagam Chanta de la machata Chanta de la machata Chanta de la machata Chanta de la machata de la machata
Wow. You're so awesome, dude.
Thanks, man. I don't think so. I think I just like what I do, man. I really do.
So it looks like you're having a lot of fun too.
Yeah, listen, I love that track. So absolutely having a lot of fun. Absolutely.
So how long have you been playing drums, and what was kind of your, let's see, what was your spark? What sparked your love for it?
I can't tell you that because growing up, as I mentioned, I come from a very musical family. So my dad was in a band when I was a kid called Dread Information. With most of them was my family and godparents and stuff like that. But he used to take me to the studio early so that I could play drums. And evidently that's what I gravitated towards. In addition to that, being from Bermuda, I grew up in a family of traditional dancers called gumbes. So in Bermuda, we play gumbes, right? So I was a dancer, but being a drummer, they just have dancers and drummers. So if you look on my YouTube channel, you'll find a track on there called Mr. Promoter. And in the beginning, you'll see what I'm talking about in terms of Bermuda gumbes. But just to give you a quick demo of what that sounds like. I know my Bermuda Massif is going to go crazy when I do this, but you ready?
Yes. That's awesome.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's usually like a bass drum, 3 or 4, or very much more snare drums. So I was a youth drummer. So drums have kind of like always been a part of my life, even before I knew any different. And I'm trying to figure out how I picked up 2 different drumsticks just now. But anyway,
Amazing.
so I was playing 2 different drumsticks on the last song, by the way, guys. I dropped one. I was sucking a little bit, but hey, it's all a part of it.
Sounded great.
So yeah, so that's how I got into drums. My dad bought me a little kid set when I was like 2 or 3. He said I tore it up in a day. I can't get him those little toy kits anymore. Like I got to get him the real deal. And funny enough, so drums are usually right or left-handed, or then, believe it or not, a mixture of both. So you got guys that play open or cross or left-handed. Same thing. I'm right-handed. My drum kit set up right-handed, but I grew up on a left-handed drum set. So going to the studio, so I can play open-handed kind of naturally because I grew up playing like this.
Oh my gosh.
And the funniest story I ever heard was my dad telling me, and I still laugh about it to this day. He said one day he took me early to the studio and the band walks in and they're like, okay, so where's the new drum machine? When did you get a new drum machine? And then my dad said, that's no drum machine. That's my son. Where's your son? And he says, I said, I'm right here. You know, Phil Collins drums.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking a drum kit that size. Funny enough, it was from a reggae band. Shout out to Jimmy Furbett. My first official drum influence, Jimmy Furbett in Bermuda. He had this left-handed, humongous concert tom kit, left-handed, and that's what I was playing.
Oh, that's rad. That's so cool.
Long story.
All right. So, unfortunately, I have to bug out, but I want to do this again.
Okay.
Maybe in a month or so.
Yeah,
And we'll do some more testing so I don't have any echoes and delays on my voice. Man, I really appreciate you being here, Andwele Simons.
Yes.
Check him out on Instagram, mainly Instagram, right?
Mainly, but I'm about to start really developing my YouTube page, so please look out for that. But follow me on Instagram. Everything I'm doing, you'll find out about from there.
Yeah. Andwele, ANDWELE_SIMONS.
Yes.
On Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah, so check him out. And thank you so much for watching. Thanks for supporting Andwele, Bermuda Strong. I love that. And everybody have a great day and a great weekend.
Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Take care. My pleasure.
Take care. Bye-bye.